Before I was ever conceived, my mother walked the streets high off of PCP. She was picked up by the cops, brought home, and then her father took her to church so maybe she could gain the light to see, and then a priest blessed her stomach, and lo and behold, 2 weeks later, she was pregnant with me with not one drug in her system. But still, she couldn't leave him. A man who beat her every day and taught me that his way was the only way, but even through all my mother's pain, she would tell me, never follow anyone's direction in life, do what you can and take control of the game. And then she stopped playing. Had the strength to leave my dad, but not enough to get up every day. She was cursed with a sickness that overtook her mind. A tumor grew in place of her dreams, but her love for me, always shined, and I knew that we could make it through anything. But anything and everything was what we had to make it through, getting bills stamped past due, but we had already paid our dues a generation before. Mom won a 14, barely kept a roof over the floor, but at our house, it was always an open door. Open door and open mind. She would always care for the kids that had been left behind, the raped, drugged, and tormented, because she had been all three. Always trying to teach me what not to be, but sometimes a person must walk down a road many times before they come to the right destination. During celebrations, it was just me, my mother, and the family. Not many gifts under the tree. Had to walk down freeways to collect pine cones to make wreaths to sell, but I thought it was tradition. Had to buy Christmas trees on Christmas Eve to save money, but I thought it was tradition. Had to burn candles for entertainment and play with shadow puppets, but I thought it was imagination. Mother always worked long hours, always had 2 or 3 jobs, and I thought it was dedication, and it was. She dedicated her life to me so I would never have to see that I couldn't be what I wanted to be. She had less so I could be blessed to know that any situation I could pass the test, and tested I was on every occasion. And abortion was the medication. I seemed to walk down the same path as my mother did. Unsupported by these so-called gentlemen, and now I just refer to mine as that so-called demon, because I can't even picture the face that my baby girl may have had. Not even a grave to mourn her, but this was 6 years in the past, so they tell me that I should just get over it. The same way I tried to carry my mother through it, because you see, a good soldier never leaves another soul behind. She was my soul and now is my eyes, but I would always keep lies hidden behind the blinds. Still had my father's mentality, thinking that if I cried, I couldn't stand on my own 2 feet, but I and she, well, we proved him wrong. Because now I have more to live for than just to attain what another man has and then die off, because I plan to live on. Sing my symphony to the world and tell my untold stories to my unborn baby girl until the day she is born. She will be the reincarnate of every strong woman in my family line. I write so she still exists. Don't think that I'm just some poet on this stage pouring out my heart and my soul to gain the title of being infamous. This is real life and real day and age. The history pours on my pen and the future's written on my page. And my mother taught me well. She said, if you look to the past, you will see what the future has already held. And my mama didn't raise no fool. Took a shot at shooting pool and ended up swimming with sharks. Had to swim to high waters just so I could get a new start. My mother's blood runs through my veins, and I breathe every lesson that she has taught. I know that me and her have had our differences, but she still knows that I love her. And this poetry became my unborn daughter that she gave to me as a blessing. So tonight, I only hope that I can bless you.